What do you think about the female basketball player being held in Russia?
Well, I'll say this. It's unfortunate. I read that she might be detained until December. And, of course, you know, she is in a same-sex relationship, but I support my sister, so as a black woman, I stand for her immediate return back home. What they're doing to her is wrong. The United States government could definitely get her back if they really wanted to. They don't care. They are showing how much they value black life. That woman has no right to still be in that country after all of this time. They're showing us that they don't care. And I find it very interesting, Bobby David, and I've brought this up on your show before during past conversations that we have had, and that is simply this. Where are all of the black feminist organizations and where are all of the white feminist organizations when black women are mistreated, oppressed, and when their human rights are violated? I never see black or white feminist organizations come forward with things such as this. She should not be over there. And the feminist organization should be going crazy. They should be protesting, okay? They should be picketing, boycotting. You don't see no unrest from the black feminists about her situation. Just like you saw no unrest from the black or white feminists about Breonna Taylor or Sandra Bland or the black girl who was beat up by the police or the black sister who was shot and murdered by the police for trying to stab a girl with a butter knife. You never see these feminist groups come to the aid of black women. You never see them do that. But when R. Kelly got sentenced to 30 years the other day, they was all over the internet. They was all on the street. They was throwing parties and celebrations and everything about R. Kelly's conviction. But what about when black women are offended against? Where are these black and white feminist organizations, these so-called movements, when black women need them? They're never around. Brittany Griner, and she's LGBTQ. And she's LGBTQ. Where are the LGBTQ organizations fighting for this sister to be brought back to the United States? You don't see them because, as I've told you before, Baba David, and I've told others, are nothing more than new faces worn by white supremacy. They are masks of white supremacy. They are only there to give the white power structure another strategy and another name through which they can destroy black men and women. That's it. You never see them come to our aid. They're only there when it's time to tear us down.
But they always want you to join their ranks. Whatever they do, they say, come on, we have the same issues, is what they'll tell us. And then they say, come on, join our ranks.
You never see them. You never see them when black women are offended against. You don't even see them when black LGBTQs are offended against.
That's what I'm saying.
But black folks are the first ones in the Pride Parade. We're the first ones in line marching in the damn Pride Parade. And soon when you get beat up by the police, when you lose your job, when you call the N-word, you don't see none of them white gays showing up to help no black gays. They don't give a damn if you're gay, feminist. They don't care. It has nothing to do with your political persuasion. These Negroes think because I'm gay, I get a pass. No, you don't. I'm feminist. I get a pass. No, you don't. I have a PhD. I get a pass. No, you don't.
And it's saying so strange that all these years we've been going through this and they still don't seem to want to accept that they're going to not be accepted. They just won't.
Bobby David, it's the psychological Holocaust. The psychological Holocaust has black people in a state of mental arrest, okay, and where we can't even evaluate our circumstances in a productive manner. It's one thing to say we can't solve the problem. We won't organize to solve the problem. We won't use our money to finance our liberation, which makes us unique amongst every human group and every ethnic group in this country. Every group in this country is organized. Every group in this country uses their money to benefit their political situation. Every group in this country has an identity separate from being an American that they use as a foundation to launch their political and economic infrastructure, except us. That's why we get no respect. Mexicans look at us and they say, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Chinese look at us and say, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Latinos, Arabs, East Indians, European Jews, Anglo-Saxons, everybody look at black folk and say, y'all are $2 trillion people. Y'all make us rich. You have made Koreans into trillionaires. You have made people filthy rich and yet you will do nothing to help yourselves. But then we want to be respected. Did you see that the Juneteenth celebration, Baba David? It was a disgrace. In 1 year, they destroyed the sacredness and value of the Juneteenth holiday.
They commercialized it.
Find a Juneteenth celebration that wasn't financed by white folks. Every Juneteenth in the country, 99% of them, 1 year, the first year, Juneteenth was celebrated as a federal holiday, and damn near every Juneteenth was financed by white folks. Baba David, how can you celebrate your ancestors' freedom while using their oppressors' money? If you really value the ancestors, why didn't you finance your own Juneteenth celebration? You mean to tell me you're going to honor my ancestors with their oppressors' money, and you don't see nothing wrong with that? That's like a European Jew celebrating Holocaust survivors, but they're using money donated by the Nazi Party. Give me a damn break. We are a joke and a laughing stock. Our ancestors are totally displeased with us. So is Almighty God. And that's why we get no spiritual assistance in this struggle, because we don't deserve it.
All right, hear you. That's right. You got to deserve it. You got to earn it. And it is amazing. And we talked about it last week and the weeks before since Juneteenth about how it has been co-opted and commercialized. And even the one that was here in Philadelphia was state-sponsored. I said, oh, my goodness, state-sponsored Juneteenth.
State-sponsored Juneteenth. Wasn't slavery a state-sponsored institution, Baba David?
Yeah.
Was not slavery a state-sponsored institution?
Yes, it
so
was.
If slavery was a state-sponsored institution, how in the hell are you going to celebrate the dissolution of slavery with a state-sponsored Juneteenth program? My God, Frederick Douglass turning in his grave, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, William Wells Brown, Henry Box Brown, all of them are turning in their grave, looking at us, saying, this is what we fought for?
Yeah, but you know what?
You're telling me 197,000 black men gave their lives, the highest war casualty count until the Vietnam War for this country. They gave their lives so black men can marry white girls. They gave their lives so black women can wear weaves and perms. They gave their lives so black children can turn up and spend their whole damn life on TikTok and social networks. They gave their lives so we could get doctorate degrees and move into white neighborhoods and act like we're better than other black folks. This is why they sacrifice. They're not happy with us, Baba David.
I know that's right. But I got a different spin on how other people say, you know, Chinese people could come into our neighborhoods and make it, and Koreans and even the Dominican Republicans. But I always say, because I don't believe in blaming victims, I say that they were able to come and from another land and come here and prosper, but blacks aren't as prosperous because those other ethnicities don't get as much resistance as we get. We get resistance.
That's very true.
We get pushback.
They also come with a line of credit from their native land.
You know,
they show up with capital.
Right. That's right.
They can also walk into any bank in here because Chinese and Koreans, they benefit from a positive stereotype that they can succeed financially against any odds. So they will get the money from an American bank. They'll show up with money from a Korean or a Chinese bank. I totally agree with you, Baba David. But it still is not an excuse.
I know.
It's true. You can't spend $2 billion on Air Jordans a year. You can't spend $1 billion on McDonald's. You can't spend $30 billion on weave perm beauty products. You can't spend $20 million on children's cologne. You can't spend $800 million on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork. You can't spend $13 billion on video games and sit back and say, racism is the reason I ain't got no hospitals. Racism is the reason I ain't got no independent schools. Racism is the reason I ain't got no banks, no supermarkets, no distribution, no manufacturing. We are a politically lazy people. We are politically lazy. We don't want to do. Baba David, look at Juneteenth. You mean to tell me you can't even finance your own Juneteenth celebration to honor your ancestors?
Well, I don't know if they, I don't think that
$1 billion people, and you letting the white man finance the celebration of your ancestors coming out of slavery.
What you thought about, because they're talking about arming teachers in all schools.
Well, some teachers are already armed. You know, education is a state right, so each state, you know, determines what the policy is going to be with regard to faculty and staff carrying weapons. Some states have already armed their teachers. Obviously, I don't support it because what it means is a lot of black children are going to be getting killed uselessly and senselessly by white folks who feel that they're being threatened, just like the police did. You know, the brother Jalen Walker, rest in peace to him, Akron, Ohio, shot more than 60 times. The police actually discharged their weapon more than 90 times. So that means, you know, at least hypothetically, 5 police emptied their entire gun of 16 rounds plus 1 in the chamber for them to discharge 90 shots.
Why?
And he was unarmed. He was unarmed.
Oh, they said he was running away, right?
Yeah, he was running away. They said they found a gun on the seat of the car. When they shot him, they said they claimed he was turning to face them and his arm was raised. But he was unarmed on the street pursuit. Unarmed. So just because he turned, that means he gets shot. I mean,
I'm sure they must have body cameras.
Unarmed, that means he gets shot. You know, their case doesn't make any sense, but you know the police will lie.
Yeah, that's why I said I hope they had their body cameras on.
Did they have? Well, yeah. Well, we saw the video, but it seemed like it was dark. They ran into the parking lot, then they shot him. So basically, what they're saying is running from the police is a capital offense. Running from the police gets you your life taken, but yet and still, that snow devil that murdered all those Africans in that supermarket in Buffalo, New York. He was standing outside with his weapon. Not one shot was fired by the police. They actually talked him out. They talked him out. They talked him into surrendering and laying his weapon down. Total compassion. Total compassion for mass white killers. Nobody had to get shot. They never have to kill these mass murderers. Now, they did murder the one in Uvalde because he was Mexican. So they took his life. But when it's a white mass murderer, they always find a way to preserve their life. But innocent black people are dying every other day. You know, I'm wondering, where's LeBron James? That's what I'm wondering, because people keep talking about how he's some great activist. I haven't seen him sacrifice anything, and I haven't seen him fight for anything significant for black people yet. But the NBA's narrative is he's a great activist. That's his hometown. LeBron James is from Akron, Ohio. Where are you? And where is your voice, and why aren't you out there on the streets with your community protesting? I would love to hear his answer.
Yeah.
Okay. LeBron James is nobody's activist at all. It just benefits the NBA to misrepresent him as being an activist because it makes the NBA look like they're progressive on racial issues and that they're tolerant of their players being involved in social protests, when the truth of the matter is LeBron James is never an activist, isn't an activist, never has been an activist, never will be one. Okay, and this is his hometown, and we haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah.
So I find that rather interesting, too.
Yeah, you would think that he would have something to say, you know, representing Akron.
He don't have a choice. He has to speak. The question is, what is he going to say?
He's going to say, "Stop the violence."
Yeah, but this right here is unacceptable. All the murders was unacceptable, but this right here is absolutely unjustifiable. But they're claiming that he had a ski mask on when he exited the car. Once again, wearing a ski mask doesn't mean you're about to kill anyone. Everybody been wearing masks for 3 years straight through COVID. Okay, so that doesn't justify him being murdered. They say that a shot appeared to have been fired out of the car before he exited it. Okay, they claim to have found a shell near the car. But again, y'all did not murder him in the car. Okay, y'all murdered him many feet away from that car on a foot pursuit. And then they claim that he stopped and turned toward them. If that young man stopped and turned towards the police, it was to give himself up.
Yeah.
That many police, I'm not stopping. I'm not. So if he stopped and turned around, it's because he probably got to a dead end, couldn't run anymore, and was going to give himself up. And those privileged white racists felt that since he had the prerogative to run away from them, he had a right to die. That was arrogant. That was an arrogant killing.
I could never understand that. How they, pursue even a car chase. Just let the car go. Take the license plate number, let it go. You catch up with them. You got to chase them down and kill them.
But that's that need for the white male to dominate and control the black male, which has been an insatiable issue of his, an insatiable need for control that he has had ever since he encountered us. That has always been. The white man has to dominate the black male. That's why he always used to castrate the black male whenever he lynched the black male. He has to dominate the black male as a means of satisfying the insecurity conflict complex that he has as a result of the fact that the black man can reproduce himself with any woman and a white man can only reproduce himself with a white woman. And that genetic insecurity, okay, has a lot to do with all of this. I mean, right now, what you got, 25 or 50 states having a higher white death rate than birth rate. That's one of the reasons Roe versus Wade was overturned the other day. So, yes, they overturned Roe, and I would not be surprised if they overturn, gay marriage. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, who is without question the real-life Samuel L. Jackson from Django, he said they need to look at the gay marriage, whether or not the Supreme Court had any right to overturn, to make gay marriage a federal right. Do you have a federal right to gay marriage? They just said you do not have a federal right to abortion. So now they're going to look at whether you have a federal right to gay marriage. Basically, they're trying to take back everything that Obama put in place.